told you to quiet down, but now you wear a crown. Visionary queen with a spark.
Welcome to You Matter in Business with Ariel Faith, your brand, your story, and your success, because you matter in your business. So here's a question that might sound simple, but isn't. Welcome to You Matter in Business. Do you work to live, or are you building something you actually want to live for? That's the big question for today. There's a massive difference between those things. When you work to live, that means you're grinding through Monday to get to Friday, and you're doing what pays the bills. You're waiting for the real life part to start when you're not working. Building something that you want to live for, well, that's different. That's when your business becomes an extension of your values, not just a way of making money. Today, we're going to talk about what happens when your business becomes your heart work. I'm not talking about following your passion advice that ignores the need to actually pay your bills. I'm talking about something more practical and more sustainable. So let's dig in. When your work stops feeling like work, I've talked to a lot of women, and that's one of the things that I hear resonate with a lot of them that are now following a more heart-centered approach. Let's get clear on something. Heart work doesn't mean every day is sunshine and rainbows, and it doesn't mean that you never have hard days. Heart work means the hard days are different. Let me give you an example. I spent years photographing work that paid well, but it drained me. Corporate headshots where people didn't want to be there. They didn't want to be photographed. It was just something they had to do. So events where I was just a vendor, right? You work that required me to leave myself at the door because it was about a job or a task. Well, the hard days in that season felt like dragging myself through quicksand. And I'm not going to lie, because it absolutely did. Now, I still have hard days where technology doesn't cooperate. That is like a beast. Days when a session gets complicated, somebody might not be in the right mood, and they just don't have the right energy, or they can't bring it to the table. It takes a little longer to pull that out. Days when I'm tired and I still have a lot of editing to do. Those hard days don't drain my soul. That's the key. Although there are hard days, there are days that require more of me than I might have at that moment. They don't drain every bit of me because the work itself matters to me. I'm helping women align how they show up with who they actually are. The work itself energizes me even when the work is exhausting. Sometimes I come back from a shoot physically exhausted because I will do interesting poses just to get the right shot. I will get on the floor. I will climb up trees. I will I will do creative things if I have something in mind that will work for someone's brand. So sometimes physically I'm actually sore. It's not just emotionally or creatively exhausting. So the difference is that heart work doesn't eliminate difficulty. It transforms what difficulty means. So here's your first question. When your work is hard, does it drain you or does it challenge you? There's a big difference between those two experiences. Here's how you know if your business is becoming hard work. Look at your last 3 business decisions. Did your values show up, or did fear and money make the call? Let's talk about another example. A few years ago, I got a request to do a large project that would have been great money, but the timeline required me to work through a family commitment that mattered to me. The old me would have said yes, resented every minute, and felt guilty no matter what I chose. The new me looked at what I actually believe is good, family connections, sustainable pace, honoring commitments, and used that as data. I said no to the project. That's when I knew my business was becoming heart work. Not because saying no felt easy, it didn't, but because my values were louder than my fear of missing out. Here's your value integration test. When you make pricing decisions, are you choosing what's sustainable for you or what you think you should charge? And what does that mean in the real world? You've done your math. You know that it costs $350 to do this one activity. If I charge $250, I just made negative $100. So I'm giving it away. If I know it will cost from the full length of what it costs to run a business and everything in between, $350, and I don't charge for that service accordingly, I'm undercutting my own sustainability, because my business will not be sustained if I keep bringing in less than it actually costs. I mean, that sounds like crazy math. That should be so simple, but you would be shocked how many people struggle with this. And when you choose your clients, are you saying yes to alignment or yes to anyone who will pay? And there's a point where we get, especially in the beginning of a business, we might take every yes. And then we kind of learn to be a little bit more choosy. But that's part of finding that alignment and tweaking ourselves as we move further along in our business. When you set your schedule, does it reflect how you want to live or just maximize income? Do you time block personal time with your family? I time block all kinds of crazy things. Do you make sure there's time for those things and your work is not permeating into that space? Your answers to those questions really tell you whether you're building hard work or just working harder.
Behind the lens, crafting tales and news.
Bring your marketing, your brand to life with storytelling and strategy. Cut through the noise with clear messaging and compelling visuals that resonate with your ideal client. We bring strategy, story, and visuals to help you with your marketing. Visit arieljoyfaith.com and schedule a consultation and see how we can help you bring your brand to life.
Selfies here, just genuine sight. Authenticity in every lie.
It's okay to make business decisions based on what you believe is good, not just what feels safe or profitable. So here's what I've noticed in my own business and watching other women build heart-centered work. The results are different. Not necessarily bigger or smaller, just different. When your business is heart work, you attract different people. You're not trying to appeal to everyone. You're clear about your values, and people who share those values find you. And the ones who don't, they self-select out, which saves everyone time. Your marketing feels different. You're not trying to convince anyone of anything. You're just saying, here's what I believe, here's how I work, and here's what I'm building. The right people respond. Your energy is different. Yes, you still get tired, but you're not depleted in that bone deep way where you just don't have anything left. And here's the thing nobody talks about. Sometimes hard work makes less money than the work you left behind. But sometimes it makes more. But the money feels different because you're not sacrificing yourself to earn it. It makes different money now. This work does not drain you. So now you have actual time to enjoy the benefits of having that money. For some years, many of us haven't had a vacation. I mean, think about those things. You might have a bank account, but you haven't had a chance to go play with your family. You might feel exhausted or resentful while you're earning a lot of money. Well, there's a shift that we can make from working to live to building something you want to live for, a life. And it's not that you're living for the business. You're living for whatever your values are, your family, your faith. And the business is a part of that, and it has to align with those values. When your business becomes a heart work, your leadership changes too. You stop leading from, what am I supposed to do? And start leading from, what do I know is right? You stop looking at permission or looking for permission, as we talked about a few episodes ago, and you start trusting what your gut tells you. You become a different kind of example. People watch how you do business. They see, oh, you can be successful without sacrificing everything? You can make money and have boundaries? You can be professional and be yourself. That matters, especially for the next generation watching. They need to see that building meaningful work is possible, that you do not have to choose between paying bills and keeping your soul. Your heart work becomes an invitation for others to build theirs. We're going to talk a little bit more about this in the future, about collaborative leadership, authority through wisdom and values, not hierarchy and control. It's going to challenge everything you thought leadership was supposed to look like. So stay with me. So here's your work this week. Ask yourselves honestly, am I working to live, or am I building something that I want to live for or live with? If the answer is working to live, what would need to change to shift that? Not overnight, not perfectly, but incrementally. Slow, small steps. Maybe it's one value-based decision. Maybe it's saying no to one thing that pays but drains. Maybe it's finally starting that thing your gut has been telling you matters. Or stopping that one thing that your gut is telling you to stop doing. It's okay to work if it means something to you. It's okay to build a business that reflects your values, not just maximizes profit. If we choose hard work over hustle, even when it's scary, it will enjoy our life, and every part of our life will be benefited from that. If you want support building heart work with other women who get it, the Real Women in Business community is exactly that. Women 40 plus creating businesses that they actually can live in. Learn more at arieljoyfaith.com and join the community. The community is free, and we do offer some support in that community. Because you matter in your business. Your values matter. What you're building matters. Make it hard work, and I'll see you again next week.
See you next episode. After all, it is your brand, your story, and your success, because I know that you matter in business. Thank you for listening to You Matter in Business podcast. Please follow, share, like, and comment. I would love to hear from you. This podcast is sponsored by Ariel Faith Storytelling Marketing and Your Brand Photographer. The show notes provide more information on how to contact Ariel and more information about this episode. Thank you again.
They told you to quiet down, but now you wear a crown. Visionary queen with a spark, lighting up the dark. Rediscover your own fire, chase the dreams that lift you higher. Redefine your role today, brand new in every way. Build your confidence through my lens. Break the walls you put up since. Embrace your power, hear your roar. You are meant for so much more. You are meant for so much more.